Guys, you need to tell me, what is your strategy for keeping your handbag collection under control? Do you follow the 1 in, 1 out rule? Or do you more just buy and sell at your discretion just whenever you feel like? Or are you a bit like me and you do a whole lot more buying and only a little bit of selling, and then you wonder why your handbag collection is getting out of control? Actually, I didn't even know how many handbags I actually had until I pulled them all out to do my entire handbag collection video, which I thought was of 50 handbags. Then I quickly realized after I uploaded that video that there were more that I've forgotten about. It's actually closer to 60 handbags. Well, in that video, I actually go through and show you guys which handbags I love, which ones I still love but just sits pretty on the shelf, and which ones are just long and forgotten. And then after, I thought to myself, why am I keeping these long forgotten handbags just to die in the graveyard that's my closet? Why not get rid of them and repurpose that money to get things that I actually want? Because there were more handbags that I wanted. So why just keep building up this collection unnecessarily, and let's just move them on out. Now, even though I'm not a 1 in, 1 out kind of girl, I ended up selling 4 handbags this year and buying 4 handbags this year so far. Now, we're only in May 2024, and I was also gifted 1 handbag. So that's 4 out and 5 in. So nearly 1 to 1. So I'm gonna start off by showing you the 4 handbags that I sold. Then I'll show you the 4 handbags that I bought, and finally the 1 handbag I was gifted. So starting off with my vintage Gucci accessories collection saddlebag. Now, I don't know when this bag was actually from, but the story behind how I have come to acquire this very vintage, very deteriorated bag was that for my sister's 40th birthday a few years ago, we actually got her a group family gift, which was a vintage Gucci crossbody bag. But just to make that presentation more complete, I wanted her to have a vintage Gucci dust bag to go with it. And that's where this bag came in. It was actually being sold with its original dust bag, which is the part that I wanted. So I gave her the dust bag with her present, and I kept the bag for myself. I thought, you know what, let's see if I can make this work. So I scrubbed out the inside of the vintage Gucci bag, which, as many of you know, it becomes deteriorated and it ends up leaving fluff all over your things. And I gave it a go to see if I would like it or not on the dog walks. Turned out I didn't really like it at all, so it just sat in my wardrobe. I thought maybe I'll just keep it as a spare part. And you know what, I never did anything with it. So that had to go. And I just couldn't get past how deteriorated the canvas was. Like, you can't even see any GGs on it anymore. The leather was dry and you could see somewhat that navy color was faded off, but the hardware in this bag was still so beautiful. And that's why I thought I'd keep it as a spare parts bag. Now, thinking that this bag was so deteriorated that no one would wanted it, I actually put it up for sale as like a junk condition spare parts bag. But it turns out that the new owner is actually using it as a proper bag. They gave me feedback that they love this really worn out look. So I was really happy to hear that they were happy with their purchase, and I was just happy for it to leave my collection and leave my wardrobe. And so now I can use that money to buy something else. Okay, you guys may remember this one. This is my dupe for the Hermes Mini Kelly that I bought from TEMU to test drive the shape to see if it'll work for me. Guys, I wanted to love this bag so much. I envisioned that I was going to be slaying in this Mini Kelly dupe on a budget and I was going to be serving looks, but it just didn't work out that way. It was actually really annoying to use, cumbersome to get in and out of, and I just never wanted to use it. So much so that I ended up making a whole video about why test driving the Mini Kelly dupe made me realize this is not the bag for me. I still pine over the proper size Kelly, maybe a 25 or a 28, but my desires for a Mini Kelly, gone, gone, gone. So you can see here, the bag looks beautiful. Even for a cheap bag on a budget, it still had beautiful structure, gold hardware, it came with feet on the bottom, beautiful sangle, top handle, crossbody bag, all the features that I love in a bag. And I think it looked really cute on as well, but just functionality wise, it just wasn't working for me. So that's also gone to a new home. Now this Coach tote, this is about the size of the Neverfull PM, and I got this sometime in the early 2010s. I think it was like 2012 or 2013. I actually got it as a gift from my uncle and his wife from their honeymoon in Hawaii. Myself and all my female siblings, we all got a Coach tote from their honeymoon trip. So I was very generous of them. So it's now been more than 10 years later and I haven't worn this bag for at least 8 years. I think I wore it in the first year or 2 only, and it's just been dying a slow death in my wardrobe ever since. And I thought, you know what? what's the point of me keeping this around as clutter? Even though I'm not a minimalist, I'm a bit of a maximalist and have hoarding tendencies. After a while, if I'm not using these things, I do start to feel cluttered by them. If I have a bunch of things but I'm using all of it, I don't feel cluttered by it. But if I have a bunch of things that are not being used, taking up valuable real estate in my house, then I will start to feel cluttered. It gives me a bit of like these anxious feelings as well. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Especially coming from the perspective of not being a minimalist, being a bit of a maximalist, and only being triggered by the things that you don't use, because if you love the items, they spark joy and don't make you feel cluttered. So I decided to put this one up for sale, and this went to a lovely lady who lived locally, and she's a mum, and I hope this bag is serving her really well. It was a great shape, small dainty size. Functionality wise, it was good. It had a zipper on the top, it had slip pockets on the inside. So I hope it's serving her really well. But I'm just not really a tote girl, and it just wasn't big enough for me to fit like my groceries or a jacket or whatever to go out on the town. And the fourth bag that I sold was a Kate Spade. It's called the Kate Spade Mini Emelyn Blair Quilted Bag. What a mouthful of a name that is. And that was a gift that I kindly got from my best friend, I think about 5 years ago, and it was such a generous gift. But for me, this bag, as beautiful as it was, just the length was not working for me. It was just too long to be worn crossbody. It was too long to be worn one shoulder. Now, it was a great length doubled up as a shorter shoulder bag, but I hardly ever do that unless I'm going to like a semi-formal or more formal occasion. I'm generally a crossbody girl, especially for when I'm going dog walking. And the capacity just wasn't very big. It actually is smaller than what you think with this bag. So I decided with a heavy heart to also let this one go, even though this one was a gift from my best friend, but I just wasn't using. So this one I only wore once, and it was just sitting in there for years and years and years. And again, just taking up valuable real estate where my handbags are, and just started giving me that cluttered, anxious feeling. Like the four walls are coming in on me with handbags I'm not wearing. So with the funds from those handbags that I sold, I was able to then acquire the bags I was interested in this year. And the bags that I wanted as well were much more inexpensive compared to the ones I sold. So I was able just to save the rest of the money. And then maybe in the future, I can get myself another Louis or another Chenille. But for now, I've got what I wanted. And for some reason this year, I've just been wanting these fun bags. Just been wanting to add more fun to my life, spark more joy, make things a bit more aesthetic and pretty and girly and fun and funky. This is my PVC with black plastic faux leather trim. And this bag says stuff. Now, I love organization and I love labeling, and I love these colorful stickers. I think they're called Chanel stickers, like not Chanel the brand, like, or Chenille. Maybe it's Chenille. If someone knows what I'm talking about, please put it in the comment section. It's Chenille. If you guys know what I'm talking about, put it in the comment section. And I've been seeing these Chenille stickers everywhere, so I thought, oh, that is so fun. And because I love organization and I love labeling, so I thought this was so cute that it was labeled stuff. They had ones like labeled beach, labeled travel, labeled face, labeled hair. I didn't want to get too specific of what I was labeling. I just wanted it to be something general, like stuff. So this combines my love of organization, my love of labeling, and also my love of handbags. Now, you might be thinking, I just said I'm not a tote girl, but yet I bought a tote. So I actually bought this for a specific reason. So this is what I take to the grocery store, and also what I lug to work if I have extra things that don't fit in my backpack. So even though that Coach tote got no use, this tote has been in constant rotation since I got it. One thing I did have to hack myself though was it didn't come with any sort of closure. So I did buy these magnetic snaps to be able to have a closure for the bag. And you just use pliers to pinch them down to the edge of the bag. So I did have to do my own hack. Otherwise, I love it. I thought it was so cute. I actually initially wanted a pink one because I love pink, but at the time that I was ready to buy it, literally only black was the color left. They had pink, blue, black, white, yellow. And initially I would have actually never picked black, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm glad I got the black because it's the one color they offer that contrasts with all the colors of the word stuff, whereas all the other colors have one of the same color of the letters, so kind of that letter would have blended in. And I think this is just a really great size, and also just such a really lightweight bag, because you guys know I complain when my shoulder hurts. So I got this bag from TEMU and it was $15.99 Australian, whether it be like $10 US. So I thought for that price, price and the amount of use that I'm getting out of it, that's a good deal for me. And if it gets damaged or whatever, I won't really care. I can take it to the beach, I can take it to the swimming pool, I take it to the grocery store to use as a grocery bag, I take it to work when I have too many things to lug. So this is a really good multi-use bag. And it actually comes with a matching pochette as well. So if there's anything you want to hide in your bag, because it is a clear bag, you can put it in the pochette and then you can put the pochette in the bag and it looks like that. Now you guys know I've talked about this a ton. So this is a mini silver suitcase crossbody bag that I bought from TEMU. So this was about $6.50 Australian, and I bought it because I just love the concept of it being a mini suitcase. So when you open her up, she has just one main compartment here, and then on this side you get this sort of elasticized mesh compartment or pocket, and same with the other side. And I just put doggy bags in there. And you guys have heard me say this, but I initially saw this as a kind of sort of dupe for the Rimowa Dior personal clutch. But then one of my subbies actually let me know that this looks even more similar to the Rimowa first class amenities kit that they give out. Now, me never having traveled first class, I never even knew about that. But when I looked it up, I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. This looks exactly the same as the Rimowa first class amenities kit, minus the fact that here it's supposed to say Rimowa, and then in the circle part, it would have the emblem of the airline that they're supplying it for. So I thought, oh my gosh, she is right. This is so lightweight. I have changed the crossbody strap it comes with. It came with a nylon one with all plastic hardware, and I just changed it to this one. That's a nylon guitar strap style with the silver hardware because I thought that went with the bag better. So this was about $6.50 from TEMU, and then the strap was $2.50 from TEMU. And this is in constant rotation as my current dog walking bag. Now, I loved it so much, I got the black one as well. So you can see the pattern on the black one versus the silver one is a little bit different. So the silver one has this oblong space for an emblem here, and then a circle space for an emblem here. Whereas the black one has one rectangular space for an emblem to go there. So very similar, but slight differences in the design. This one also has the corner bumpers shape that a suitcase would have, and this one does not have the corner bumper shape. Now you see here the strap here, that is actually the original strap that also came on the silver one that I swapped out for this one that now has silver hardware. So you can see the difference in the strap there. So the interior is exactly the same, one main compartment with one elasticized mesh pocket there and one elasticized mesh pocket there, and they're filled with all my doggy poo bags. And what I love about it is both the inside and the outside are both wipeable. If I get something spilled on the outside, it doesn't matter. If I get something spilled on the inside, it doesn't matter. And these are really nice hard-sided ones. If you are interested in these mini suitcases, it's really important to read the reviews because they do have one style there that is not, it looks hard, but it's not hard. So you do make sure you are getting the proper hard ones. They can actually collapse if you push them in too much where it's stitched. You can see that there. So the plastic is not collapsing, it's just where it's stitched in. That's the part that's collapsing there. Now I loved it so much a third time, I bought the white one as well. Am I obsessed or what? So you can see the white one is the exact same pattern as the silver one, where they both have the circle in this corner here, and they both have that long oblong shape in that bottom corner there. So here I've kept that original black nylon strap there. And actually these weren't even all the colors that I bought. I also tried out a gold and a pink one, but just in real life, they just didn't hit the spot for me. They weren't working for me, so I sent those back. Now, one thing I have to say is they did have different prices. So you may know that TEMU's prices are changing all the time, like from day to day, hour to hour, things can be different prices. So it was about $6.50 for the silver. It was about $7 for the black. And I think it was about $7 for the white as well. So all very similar in price range, but it wasn't the same price. And I did have to go to different sellers and different listings to collect the different colors. So I did spend less than 40 Australian dollars to get these 4 handbags that I bought this year, which for my low buy year dollar-wise is great. However, quantity-wise doesn't sound so great, especially considering the amount of money I sold the other 4 bags for greatly outweigh the amount of money I spent on these 4 bags. So that was good for the budget. And finally, the handbag that I was gifted. So if you guys watch my channel, you may know I was gifted in February this beautiful Teddy Blake Kim Lizard 9-inch bag. Now Teddy Blake did kindly let me pick which bag I want, and I featured it as my personal dupe for Mel in Melbourne's rarest Hermes Kelly, which she spent 30,000 Australian dollars for, so I'll leave that video here for you. And I've been absolutely in love with this bag. It's been on constant rotation as well, so I've been really happy with the choices that I made so far this year. And unlike the other bags, which were dying a real slow death in my closet, these bags are out and about and getting their shimmy on. So let me know in the comments section, which bags have you bought and sold this year? And if you're on a low buy year, how are you going with it? As I said, I feel dollar-wise, I'm definitely within budget in terms of handbags, but in terms of quantity, 4 handbags and it's only May still sounds like a lot. But I did get rid of 4, so that's how I'm justifying it to myself at the moment. Because remember, I did reframe this in my head as appreciate what you have year. And so if I wasn't appreciating what I have, then I decided let's get rid of it and let's get things that I will appreciate. And it's not even about the dollar that you spend. It's not even about the brand that they are. Because I can sell branded things and then buy cheap things to replace it, like what I've done so far. It's about whether or not I like it, whether about it's fit for purpose, whether or not it suits my lifestyle, and whether or not it sparks joy. Now, if you guys haven't already seen, I go through my entire colorful handbag collection. So no blacks, no whites, no neutrals like brown. And I've got 13 bags to show you, which I'll leave you here to carry on with next.